Hi, today I'm going to make a dish which is made up of beans, cassava, and you eat it with fried fish on the side. These are the ingredients. You have the cassava, the spring onions, brown onions, Scotch bonnet peppers, Maggi cubes. Then there's the beans, the black eye beans, and palm oil, chopped tomatoes, salt, black pepper, and the white fish. Okay, so today I'm making black eye beans with palm oil sauce, and I've just done a bit of preparation on the ingredients, and I've taken the fish out from the packet, and this is how it looks like. This is the cassava. It looks a bit funny only because it's frozen. That's the palm oil there. Then we have the plum tomatoes, the Maggi cubes, one brown onion, a lot of Scotch bonnet peppers, the spring onions, again quite a lot, and black pepper, salt, and this is the black eye beans. You can see a massive amount of spring onions there. Of course you'll be cooking to the amount you wish. All I will say about this sauce you'll cook for the black eye beans is use spring onions. Just add a brown onion, one or whatever you're making, just for, I don't know, texture or a little bit more flavor. It is best if you use spring onions. Sorry about that, it's my little girl, she wants to help out. Okay, so now I'm going to put the black eye beans in this bowl here so we can soak it. This is not necessary at all. In fact, I've never done it, but I guess it would just help it cook quicker. Okay, so there's the black eye beans now in the bowl, and we just want to soak it. And when it comes to the point I think it's okay to start boiling it, I'll tell you how long I've soaked it for. Like I said, I've never done it before, so I don't know if I'm going to be soaking it for an hour or 2 hours. Okay, I needed a bit more water, so yeah, that should be sufficient. The black eye beans has been soaking for an hour 20 minutes. I actually wasn't timing this. I just got caught up doing other things. So, like I said before, you don't need to soak this. But as you can see, it's really doubled in size. So that should, kill the cooking time a little at least. I've put it in the pot now, and we're just going to add some water to it and start boiling. There's the water inside, the cooker's on, and I'm just going to pour in some salt now. I have the cassava in the pot as well. That hasn't been put on yet. Here we have the spring onions and Scotch bonnet peppers, which I'm now just going to blend. Okay, so that's the onions, peppers and spring onions in the blender. There's a whole lot of peppers in there because I like to eat my food hot. But there's another thing that Africans say, especially Gambians, which is palm oil soaks up pepper, meaning if you're cooking palm oil, put a little bit more pepper in it. I don't know how true this is. Either we just like pepper and conjured up some excuse. But anyway, you don't have to use pepper. You can use 1, 2, I'm using 8. That's me. Right, so here we have it. That's the blended spring onions and peppers. That's the palm oil I'm just going to start the sauce now. That's the palm oil in there. You just wait for it to heat up. This is the beans starting to come up to boil a little. Okay, it's starting to smoke now, which obviously tells us it's hot, so you just put in the onions. Just turn down the heat at this point, really, midway. You need it to fry slowly and really cook and just okay, do occasionally stir it, because I guess it's just palm oil. It doesn't burn as oil would do, so stir it in a little bit more than you would if you were cooking oil. Now we're going to go on to the cassava. All you do with this is just boil it with a little bit of salt. As I fry this, let me just say, this sauce doesn't have to be cooked with palm oil. In fact, in Gambia, when you find this in restaurants and stores, you'll always see that you have a choice of oils. So it's cooked with vegetable, sunflower, etc. oil or palm oil. Now, I particularly like it with palm oil, so I cook mine with palm oil. But you can use other oil, as in vegetable and sunflower, olive oil, etc. So that's it. The black eye beans, it's here. Now the whole cooking really depends on this, because it does take forever. What we want here is for imagine mushy peas. This is what we're going to get as end result of this. So we're just letting it boil. We need it to soften, and we start breaking it up like this, and that's it really. So it's still going on. Today's Whitney Houston's funeral, rest in peace to her, so just because of that, I'm just going to do the sauce and the cassava, and I'm now going to come and fry the fish, because the funeral is gonna start to air in a little bit, and I want to watch it without disturbance. Otherwise, I would have done this at the ending, because afterwards I'm going to need to heat it up. So if you're cooking this at home, just wait till your beans are about done, half an hour, 45 minutes to done. Then you do the other bits. I'm just going to put in some salt now and black pepper, but the tiniest amount of black pepper will I put in there. So the cassava is nearly done. What I've done is I've turned it off and I've covered it, and I'm just letting the steam continue cooking it, because the rest of the dish isn't done yet. This is still cooking. Like I said, just turn it right down, and you just have to be patient with it. Liquid is going to go into here later, but we still need to fry it a little bit more. What I'm doing next is I'm just going to fry the fish. So there's the frying pan here, and let's go for quite a bit of oil there. A bit, but not too much, because I'm using fillet fish. Now to season the fillet of fish, it's lemon and salt. When you don't season fish, you just get this bland taste of fish, and we all know this fish has been caught God knows how long. So just try and bring it alive again by seasoning it. Just a bit of salt and lemon, and that's it. Okay, so I've put in the salt and lemon, and just turn it over so it all gets in there. The black eye beans, it's starting to really soften, but it's not there yet because, like I said, it's not going to be whole like this. We need it to really soften till it starts to break up, then we break it up. Now you can see the color. Don't be alarmed by this thinking you need to rinse it and put in a new set of amount of water in there. Don't do that, because this is just the black eye beans, and if you do that you lose all the flavor. So leave it. This is how it should be. The sauce is still going on. For the oil now, you need to leave it to really heat up very, very high. Because if you don't do that, that's when you get the fish starts to stick and break up. So I think it's ready now. Now just once the fish is in there, don't touch it, just leave it. It needs to seal at the bottom so you can be able to turn it over without it falling apart. And this is not just for cooking fillet fish. Even if you're cooking the whole fish on the bone, you do the same. Leave the oil to be really, really searing hot. Put it in, leave it, give it time to seal, and then you turn it over. Back at the sauce again. I'm turning up the heat high again, and what I'm going to put in now is the plum tomatoes. The fish, just like I told you, just leave it until it's had a chance to seal, then you can turn it. I turned it already. I turned it once already, and I'm just doing the second turning. In the sauce now, you can add your Maggi cubes. I'll put in 3 here. I'm just going to do the second batch of the fish. The beans, you can see I've started, this you do yourself. All you need to do is just take some and start pressing it against the pot. This is why I said you just leave it till it really softens so it gets easier. But don't stand there hoping to do everything in one go. Just do it every other 10 minutes, come back and do some more. So the rest that you haven't done get more soft and makes it easier. So just do as much as you can, leave it and come back and do so. Also, if you have a masher, it will be easier, or just anything you have to do that. Right, the sauce, all I did was gave the plum tomatoes a chance to cook, just to cook off that sweet flavor. And this is the blender I used to blend in the onions. So just not to waste what was stuck, I added the water there. And what I'm going to do now is to partly cover it and let this simmer. Now we come to the beans. I've been doing a lot of mashing. Please don't take this out and put it in the blender or the liquidizer. Don't do that. Just use the masher or the spatula that you had before. And although I said we're going to mash it, I am not going to 100% mash it, because you do want a little bit of texture there. But do mash basically 70-80% of it. And when you can see now it's thick, just lower the heat. Again, I have the highest heat level of 6, and I've lowered it down to 2. Because it's beans, it will begin to cake. All you now are waiting for is for the liquid in there just to be sucked up by the beans and continue to do some mashing. And what you want at the end of it is a solid sort of a bean paste. And this bean is, or just beans in general, when it spits and goes on your skin, believe me, it's one of the, it really hurts, really. It's like the worst burn you'll get. I've just burnt myself, obviously, so just take care, because it does spit and it really hurts. Okay, now I've stopped mashing and I've turned it right down. In fact, it's now on 1, and as you can see, this is what I was talking about. This is just the liquid still drying up, and that's all I'm waiting for, really. So every now and again I just come just to get the cake off the bottom and just stir it a little. Also the sauce, just keep stirring. As you can see, this consistency that it's in at the moment, what we want it to go back to is a more of a drier or more reduced sauce. So this is the sauce. This is like the frying mode, isn't it? So this is the stage I wanted it to go back to from having put in the liquid there. So this sauce is ready. This is the beans. This is what it comes to every time after 5-10 minutes that you stir it. And the beans is also ready. What I'll tell you is turn it off and let it sit there, if you can, 20, half an hour. What that does is it solidifies a little bit more. As you can see, it's okay like this, but as it cools down, it gets thicker, and you know, the liquid gets sucked in. So before you serve, just let it cool down a little. By the way, as you let it cool down, please don't cover it, just take the cover off. I also wonder if you at all saw me cover it. I didn't cover it until I started mashing it. That is because it was spitting, so I just partly covered it. So if you didn't see the cover at all, that's when I covered it, and as I'm done now, I'm letting it cool down, I remove the cover. And you can come in every 2-3 minutes, just stir it again, I guess just to allowing the bottom cool as well. Right, so I'm just going to dish this out, and just to make it easier, you can cut this up for them. Right there. Right, this is the finished product. That's the beans, sauce, cassava and the fried fish. Sorry, the lighting is a bit too dark. So I hope you try this one as well. Thank you.